So if we are all prepared, you all are inside this little room where there's seven commoners who seem to be sitting around the Baroness. They are all kind of weaving different little like sun wreaths of sorts. In the moment the Sinmorn begins to cast her spell, the Baroness is going to call for guards, and that is essentially where we have stopped. So you all are around this table. Common folk are kind of sitting around here in a bit of shock. The Baroness is calling for the guards. You all are welcome to go about as you would care to act. But for what it is worth, we are going to go into that like micro moment of time as you all roll initiative here.
How do you roll initiative in the roll 20?
You have to select your token and then roll initiative.
Yeah, it's not like in Roll20. You still click it on D&D Beyond, but if you select your token first, just left clicking yourself, that will add you to the initiative count.
Okay, I see it now. Or I think it worked that time.
So I'm not doing it right, Mara? Did you see my initiative roll?
I can see it, but you did not technically like click yourself prior to actually get added in. To say that's wrong, I think would be a little overstep, but
Well, I don't understand what you guys are doing. You're clicking left clicking on your token in D&D Beyond.
no, left click on yourself on the virtual tabletop. So you just see like, what is it, the three dots, like red, green, blue up top, and then you see the two different counters, the cog and then the status counter, all in Roll20 right there. Did you do that one click?
Hmm.
It shouldn't be that hard. Just on Roll20, just a normal click on yourself.
Nothing happens.
Nothing's supposed to happen, but do you see the three dots above you, red, green, and blue?
No.
Like when you are clicking in the dining room, you're right next to Debbie, like just to the north of her.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Once you click yourself like that, if you roll initiative on D&D Beyond, it will add you into the initiative.
Thanks for baby stepping me through that.
Well, it also helps everybody because that is one of those things where if you don't do that on big combats, I will go through combat and not notice that one person is not getting a turn until 3 turns in. Somebody's like, hey, I've not gone yet.
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Yep, I am adding everybody to initiative right now.
Sorry about that. It's weirding me out with how much silence there was.
I was checking
That's
my
part of
audio.
what I mean. Like, as everybody actually rolls properly, it saves this time of where I have to edit and go through everybody's initiative one by one. All right, so Rin, as Sinmorn begins to cast a spell and the Lady Baroness starts to call for the guards, what is Rin going to do?
Um, Whoops. I have this new feature, um, the telepathy, and I don't think I have to expend anything for it. Can I read her thoughts?
What does it say that you can do?
It says you're able to speak telepathically. You can also learn detect thoughts and cast the spell without expending a spell slot.
So you can cast Detect Thoughts, but Detect Thoughts does not let you just read their thoughts.
Okay. Um, um, Never mind then. I'm just going to Ren is going to kind of sit back and observe, and that's what I'm going to use that for my turn.
So you can roll a perception check. What are you trying to observe for?
Just really anything that I can learn. It looks like we're about to get into combat. Really anything I can learn now.
So give me more details what you're going for so I can give you an answer. Like, are these people hostile? No, you're looking at a woman who sees somebody casting a spell and she's calling for guards because people who use magic are not normally very trustworthy. Like, what else are you looking for? What kind of answer does Rin want when she's looking around this room?
As she's calling for the guards, I guess I want to assess the kind of the fighting ability of the people in the room and see if I can tell how many people are coming just to
You
better
have
ready.
no reason to be able to tell how many people are coming. There are
Okay.
7 commoners in here and a baron. If you all decided to murder all of these people, you could have a lot of limbs and blood splattered throughout this room.
Okay. Well, then maybe Ren would say, "Hey, why call the guards? No problem here, guys." And maybe try and talk her down a little bit.
Gotcha. Ali, what would you like to do?
I'll piggyback on top of that, on top of what Rin's saying. So I'll just look over at the Baroness and I'll say, my lady, I would advise that you tell your guards to not come here. A fight is not what you want. I apologize for my friend here. She's trying to learn more about the room. I promise you, a fight is not what you want. You wouldn't want to get anybody hurt, would you?
You can roll a persuasion. Hector, what are you doing?
Uh,
Hector is going to put one hand on his short sword and ready himself in case any commoner or anyone else makes a move, but he's not drawing his sword yet.
So, ready in action to attack anybody who moves.
Anyone who moves aggressively toward Hector, or I think that's Jim's character right next to me.
So, attack anybody who makes aggressive actions.
Yes, to us in the corner over here, the two of us.
Debbie, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'd also like to urge her to call off the guards and get super intimidating and be like, "Hey, you really don't want to pick this battle, lady."
flexing your muscles.
You can make an
Yeah.
intimidation check. Without skipping a beat, she doesn't say anything, remotely pulling back her call for the guards and looking across to you, looking down at you as peasants and scum. You can see like the look in her eyes as she can see you're below her. And she's very clear with it. And you come into my house and make threats towards me and pretend my guards are not going to slay you all. Try. Kappa, what are you doing?
Oh, can I attempt to shove a chair on that door there and barricade it?
You can certainly try.
All right, I'm gonna try that. Do I need to roll anything?
Roll a strength check. Sinmorn, what do you do?
I look to her and I'm like, you don't need to do this. You need to call him off. And I use persuasion.
Make the roll. And Edwin, what are you doing?
Sorry, we're playing this coy, and I don't know that there's anything subtle I can do. So is the door barred now or barricaded?
It's all the same 6 seconds. Kappa is moving faster than you, but the door is technically not really barred yet.
I'd like to bark out at the commoners in the room. If you don't want to get hurt, move yourself to the corner now. And I gesture over here.
To the southeast.
Yep, I'll ping it again.
Pinging, I don't want people to ping. I want you all to give me cardinal directions. I'm usually looking at like 3 or 4 screens, so that's one of the biggest things.
Yeah, southeast then.
Hey, Mara, question just for gameplay. If I wanted to yell something out to the group or say something to the group mid gameplay, do I have to wait till my turn, or can I speak to the group at any time?
This is where I say there's a difference between something for this particular occasion and something that is general strategy. If it's the type of thing that you guys can talk about it while you're camping, you can always have that conversation. If you are talking about strategizing in this particular moment here, it's got to be on your turn. You've got 6 seconds to say it, and it takes up your free action.
Okay.
So by that point, you all would hear the rush of guards outside of the door. Rin, what are you doing?
So for gameplay mechanics, all of this happens at the same time. So um, I'd like to do two things. I'd like to use an action to tell the group something, and then I'd like to use um, my sorcerer points to cast a spell. And so does this work out where if I wanted to tell the group to somebody to gag her or something, and then I could yell in her voice to never mind the guards. But for like the order of actions, could I yell that to the group and then cast a spell and then wait for the turns to see if somebody can gag her to see, or how would I do that?
Roll an intelligence for me. This is a world where people know magic exists. If somebody calls for the guards are going to have to okay a situation before they pull back. If you want her to convince the guards to go, you have to use a spell that she convinces the guards to go.
All right.
You're not going to be able to get out of this without those guards seeing that she is okay. That's my point.
Understood.
I think in any like kind of royal situation, that's kind of how the guards have to operate, especially in a world where they understand magic exists.
I'm gonna go ahead and I think just wait and watch. Like I don't have an action that I want to do then.
You want to hold an action?
What do you mean hold an action?
Like you could take the dodge action. You can hold an action if you see somebody hostile that you can attack them. There's other things that you can do besides doing nothing, and you should probably be doing something.
I'll dodge.
Gotcha. Ali, what are you doing?
I'm going to continue on just speaking to the room, and I'm going to say, my lady, you make too far of a beautiful woman to be a hostage. I once again am just going to tell you, please, just send your guards away. This is not the fight that you want. You see my friend there behind you, the orc. Well, I can guarantee that you're much too weak for you to get away from her or from my friend over here, Sinmorn, if your guards do come in here and try to attack us.
You can make an intimidation check. Hector, what are you doing?
I know my action that I want to take, but have any of the commoners, what's happening in the last few seconds? Are these commoners listening to the intimidation from our boat driver or moving in any way?
I would say at this point the commoners are more shocked and kind of frozen in place, and they're starting to turn to shrieks and screams.
Okay. So Hector draws his sword and well, can I still shout out to Debbie here, or I don't need to attack yet, but I'd like to shout to Debbie over this chaos.
What are you trying to say?
Debbie, it's time to grab this Baroness and take her up to the Baron. We'll either hostage take her or chop our way out.
Just
Hector
cur-
is done negotiating right now.
You guys haven't even started negotiating. Debbie, what would you like to do?
Yeah, I'm gonna say my I am going to try to grab her and I guess like hold her up with my axe. And yeah, I agree with Hector. Enough is enough.
If you would like to grapple her, make a grapple check. There's a strength check, my apologies. Grapple is just a strength check. So you can grapple her. As you kind of pull her in towards yourself, are you going to move with her?
Yeah, I'm just gonna like I guess go forward and then pull her back to where I was standing prior.
Gotcha, so you're just going to move 5 feet to the east?
Yes.
So as you pull her, the Baroness is just going to kind of looking to you all, looking to Ali. Your lives are already forfeit. Miserable scum. The devil is certainly at work here. And then looking into Sinmorn's eyes, all will be well. Kappa, what are you doing?
Oh, because I had just barricaded that door, and I am not the biggest person, and probably should not be moving any or being the only one there. I'm going to try and work my way through the crowd and get on the other side of this table here. And I'm going to ask Theo here if she can.
So hold up a second. You're just letting the door go?
Well, I barricaded it with the chair.
And now you're letting it go?
Yeah, I was going to. And I was going
Gotcha.
to ask Theo if she could possibly go up there and hold the door. I'm quite too frail to be doing that.
Sure. I can prop open the door. Actually, I'm just gonna rip the door off its hinges.
So I'll make a strength check. On the other side of this door, you are going to see three different people. Two of them are wearing pretty traditional garb that you've seen the other guards wearing inside of Vallaki. The other one is a young man who seems to be mid-20s, dark white hair, and a single arm. His left arm is just blood red. And while they're all kind of charging up to this door, as you tear it off, there's a moment of shock in everyone's eyes as they're basically making it to this door, as the moment that Sinmorn is tearing it off of the hinges. And any bonus action from Sinmorn.
Nah.
Edward,
I just place the door gently down and prop it up against the wall. I'm like, got your door for you.
what would you like to do, Edwin?
Edwin would like to climb up on the table and gesture very pointedly towards the southeast corner of the room and yell again, kind of moving his gaze so that he's staring very forcefully at the couple of civilians closest to him, like, if you do not want to get hurt, go to the corner now.
So as you move to the table, the guard who is closest to you is going to try to stab across at you. You'll have +2 AC against this attack. Big ol' miss as he just stabs like right into the actual door that Sin is setting up against the wall.
And is making that plea like my action then, or I guess it's more of an intimidation attempt, but
If you're trying to do something with it, yes, it ends up being your action. But in the long run, it's kind of up to you what you're trying to accomplish when you're talking to these commoners.
yeah, I guess yeah, I guess if I can roll intimidation for that, that's what I was trying to do last time, but
Go for it. So the first of these guards is going to, this is the same one who just struck out at Edwin, is going to pull his sword from the door and slash out towards Sin. Big ol' miss. And then with the figure with the blood red arm, just as they raise their right arm to the air, kind of fist up, a battle axe is going to slowly start to form in that hand. And in 2 quick slashes, he's going to bring it down on Sinmorn. Uh, 12 is your AC on Sinmorn?
Yeah.
That's going to be 2 hits. First one is going to do 12 slashing damage, and the second one is going to do 16 more slashing. That already puts you down, unconscious.
Yep.
All right. You don't actually need to make death saving throws like at that point. That's only on your turn. It is gonna go to 1, 2. Yeah, I think this guard is going to go forward and pick up Sinmorn and drag their body out of that room and immediately tell you all to drop your weapons or your friend is dead. And another guard is going to walk up into that corner where they've pulled out Sinmorn and basically make the same threat. And I think we'll have the commoners run across the room. And that will take it back to Rin.
Ugh. Okay. And it looks like you guys are walking away. I'd like to cast sleep on the second level on the wife lady.
Just centered on her.
Yes.
Roll the dice.
Sorry. It says I have it, but I
I
don't
think
see.
it's 78. 5d8 for level 1, and I think 2 more for level 2.
And sorry, that was in its second level. I did cast it at second level, but it says first on it. Whatever.
As long as you use the second level spell slot, that's what matters.
That's credited.
So, Arena is going to fall asleep. One of these people is going to fall asleep. Oh, that's a better sleep icon. The old man is going to fall asleep. And you rolled 27. And Lady Petronovich will fall asleep. Yep, and that'll be it. So those 4 people are going to fall asleep. Any movement from Rin? Otherwise, it's going to go to Ali.
No. No movement.
All right, so I'm going to draw my sword. That'll be my first kind of little mini action. And then I would like to break out this window that's right here. That's like right below Koopa.
Gotcha. So that'll just be an action.
Okay, and then is it possible to get any additional movement after I break the window?
Yeah, your movement happens all throughout your turn. As long as it's your turn, you can move.
Okay, so I'd like to jump out that window.
Probably 20 feet to have you outside of the window, so you can move 10 feet. And you're just bailing out on the party?
Yeah, for sure. And then yeah.
Hector, what are you doing?
I'd like to do an intimidation to this strange white-haired man, and obviously the people at the many guards that just centered around Sinmorn. Should I roll?
Do you know what you want to say, or do you want a really high
Yeah.
DC and just rolling an intimidation?
So I'm going to say, you touch one hair on Sinmorn's head out there in the hallway, and we're going to snap the Baroness's neck like toothpick. What will your boss think of that? I will roll.
Debbie, what would you like to do?
Okay, well, since she's asleep, but I guess I'm still grappling her, um, I'd like to have at least like one hand with a weapon. So I'm gonna like toss her over one shoulder and stow my great axe so I can bring out one of my dual axes.
Gotcha. Any movement from you?
Nope, I think I'm gonna stay put.
And Cuppa, what are you doing?
So seeing this dude just spawn a sword or an X out of nowhere, I'm gonna cast Scorching Ray on him.
The guard who is standing right next to Sinmorn on the west side is going to attack. Sinmorn, you will lose 2 death saving throws.
Can I stop time and roll that back?
What are you going to roll back?
Does that kill Sinmorn?
Not killed, but Sinmorn doesn't have too much of a chance at this point.
Would it make sense to take back that last roll because it was a 19?
It's rolling with advantage to hit a character who is incapacitated.
Okay.
You can roll those Scorching Rays, though. You got to roll the to hits.
Oh, let me see.
But those will be the damage. First one just kind of pings into his armor. Roll the hit with the second one and the third one. That's a spell like Magic Missile that all 3 spells are separate.
Oh, so I cast it 3 times?
Yep. You have to make sure that it only uses 1 spell slot, but now you click Flaming Sphere, so definitely make sure it's not using multiple spell slots.
Sorry, but
Second one will miss as well. And the third one will miss him as well. Simorn, roll a d20. And this might be where you want to roll back, but no. Actually, this is where they should be secret. But Sinmorn seems to be fine at present. Edwin, what are you doing?
I'm casting 2nd level Witch Bolt at this red armed dude.
Gotcha. It will connect with him. You rolled it all the first time. It was already 15.
Oh, okay. And then I'm gonna move on, still on the table, but I'm gonna move over to the rest of the party. And actually hop behind it.
Guard from the east of the red armed man is going to charge forward and slash at Debbie. Big ol' miss. The red armed man is going to run forward and slash twice at Debbie. Should hit with a 20, and the next one will hit with a 24. This will be two-handed. Going to do 17 slashing, and then 16 more slashing to Debbie. I do not believe you are raging. That should be all of that damage. And then the next guard here is going to kill Sinmorn. Is Debbie still standing after that? What was it? 25, 29,
No.
33? That'll put you down.
Yes, I do have relentless endurance. I don't know if that's
Oh, so that'll
applicable.
bring you back up at 1. So yeah, he's going to continue over towards you and make an attack on you. And should miss with the 10. And we are going to take an immediate break here because I want Theo to start rolling a new character.
This isn't going good, guys.
Clearly.
Theo, are you at your computer right now? Can I pull you
Yep.
into a private?
This is a fucking disaster.
Thanks for the help, Rodney.
Yeah, jumping out a fucking window. This is the most intense moment of the campaign.
He said, "Oh no, I gotta go."
Hey, you don't have to stay and fight every fight. It's one of the things you could do.
I thought about just casting invisibility and standing in the corner. And then you jumped out the window, and I was like, I should have done that.
I mean, I'm about to two-sword start chopping up civilians here if something doesn't get rectified.
Just blood.
I would say light the house on fire first before you do that.
I'll save a firebolt.
If you're going down, take everything down with you.
I'll cast a firebolt on the most flammable thing in sight, and then just start screaming, "All's well that ends well."
I thought we killed the lady for someone or something, but that didn't pan.
It felt like we were being railroaded to surrender, and I'm like, that's not fun. I'm not doing that. If everyone dies, so be it.
No surrender.
Yeah, it's how I felt too. I was like, well, I'd rather just bail than surrender.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Never surrender, never die.
Only bail.
I was actually considering casting Healing Word on Sinmorn, but then I was like, there's no point because I knew he was going to kill her like he did.
I mean, nothing about that situation was a good situation to be in.
This is very true.
You did this.
I've run a lot of people through the crazy cults in this little meeting. Nobody's ever taken it to combat before.
We're combat prone.
Pioneers.
Good news is when you make friends, you make enemies. When you make enemies, you also make friends.
What level am I to be again?
It'll be same level 4.
I vote we take the Baroness to Strahd's castle and offer her to Strahd as his new concubine.
We have to get past these 3 guys first.
Isn't the woman we're supposed to be escorting asleep too?
And we are going to pick back up at the top of that initiative. Rin, what would you like to do?
All right, I'm going to do that thing that I fuck up every time. I want to do a bonus action and an action and use a sorcery point to do it?
It's 2 sorcery points to quicken the spell.
So
So
if I
you're
keep
going to use all of them.
yes, and I'm going to cast. Do I need to do the cantrip or the spell first?
Effectively, it's quicken the spell, and then you can cast the cantrip.
Okay, so I'd like to cast magic missile at 2nd level.
Gotcha. Who are you hitting with it?
The red
Got 4
arm.
missiles.
The red
So roll
arm
4
guy.
of them. Excellent. So 4 of these missiles, ping, 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 all slamming into him. Anything else? What is your cantrip that you are casting as your action?
I don't get to know his damage first. That
He's not bloodied. That's all you get to know.
okay. Then I would take my cantrip, firebolt, and fire that at him as well.
At disadvantage, make that roll
Why? Why disadvantage?
because you're in combat.
Oh,
And it is going to miss as it flies right past him.
well, that's my best.
Any movement?
Yeah, I'm going to get out of the fray a little bit.
He is going to swing at you. And he should miss with a 9.
Great.
And that will go to Ali. As you are running out of this place, getting away from the window, the commotion behind you, the screams of the commoners, kind of like looking back behind you to see that nobody seems to be following you. There's nothing in front of you. And all of a sudden, as you look back ahead of you to continue moving on and away from this place, you are going to stumble into. Can you describe yourself for us, Theo?
I'm sorry.
This is like
Can I describe
first
myself?
impression. Yeah. This is like first impression. This is somebody who is running away from a battle and he is stumbling over you. So, what do they see as they are basically stumbling into Flame, who's just appearing out of nowhere?
People see a dragonborn, so like a humanoid dragon, and my color is grass, and I'm wearing very earthy tones. And I have a um, I'm trying to think of the word. It looks kind of like an enlarged ferret, but it's like a wild one. Um, around my shoulders, as like always with me. And his
How
name is
tall are you?
I am like 6'1". I'm like pretty imposing height wise, but I have like a slender build. Like I'm not super buff. It's more like a very like lean athleticism.
And what are you doing as you stumble into this creature, Ali?
Hey, yo, dude, where's the fire? What's happening here?
Uh, sorry, just a little discombobulated. We're just walking around, going for a walk. What's your name?
Name's Flame. What's yours?
Pleasure to meet you. You want to get out of here, or actually, um, just kind of strange question, but uh, can you cast fire at all?
Yeah, I can breathe it.
How would you like to make some money?
Hell yeah, I'm always in the business of making money.
Well, I need a cause of distraction, you see. My friends, they're kind of caught up right now, and I figure if I can create a distraction possibly somewhere, maybe I can draw attention away from them.
Yeah, sure. What should I set on fire?
How about this house right here?
Sure. I'm a do now, ask questions later kind of person, anyways.
I can respect that. here, as a token
You guys have done
of
a
my
lot. I'm going to
appreciation.
Hector.
All right. Hector's going to draw his second sword, and then he's going to cast Hunter's Mark on this scenester mage here with the white hair. I don't know how I get the description in, or maybe I'm missing something.
You're good.
I assume drawing my second sword and Hunter's Mark is a bonus action. So that's my whole turn.
No, your sword is a free action. Hunter's Mark is a bonus action. You've got an action.
Like to go up and strike at Scenester Mage. That's my nickname for him.
First strike will hit. We'll take that first Hunter's Mark for an extra 6.
And then Hector is going to move back next to Rin.
Debbie, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run away. And I'm gonna run away through that window as well. But I would like to also give a good toss of my hand axe at the guy directly south of me as I go by him.
All right, so here's some options that you have. You can certainly attack that guy. You could potentially draw your other weapon and attack him as well, with both of your hand axes. As you're running away, you'll also leave them behind. You can take the dodge action and be at disadvantage for somebody to try to hit you, or you can disengage and just run free.
And the disengage doesn't involve, like, that can't involve me attacking.
100% disengage is purely you just getting out of there, recognizing that you are effectively mortally wounded right now, and you can be killed if you stay behind right now.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna disengage and I'm gonna take this sleeping lady with me through the window.
If you take her with you, you are going to stop at the window. Your movement is halved while you are carrying someone.
Shoot.
Which will also include, it basically takes 20 feet of movement to move through that window if you're carrying someone, because it is difficult terrain and you'll be carrying someone. So it's like twice as much twice. If you leave her behind, you're outie without a problem. You want to take her, you're right in front of Koopa.
All right. Yeah, I'm out.
So Debbie is dropping her, and you can move your effectively like 25 feet. Oh, do you have your increased movement yet? I forgot about that. Is that at a higher level for you that you get more movement?
Not that
I
I've
want to
seen,
say it's
but let
level
me check.
6. Yeah, you're still at 30 feet. So yeah, you can basically get 25 feet. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You can get like right above Ali.
Sorry, everybody.
And that goes to Koopa.
I'm pretty disheartened at this point. Everyone seems to be bailing. I'm gonna cast spiritual weapon and then kind of place it right here, south of everyone, in between the guards on the table and Edwin there. And I'm gonna
What's
run
your
out of.
spiritual weapon look like?
Oh, it is a. It's like a pretty small white ball, and it just kind of lights up the room pretty good, and it's just radiating pure energy. And I'm gonna break and go out the window as well, and I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna melee attack the guy on the north side of the table with that weapon. Would I roll 2?
When you cast it, it should roll for you. Yeah, it rolled. And you just cast it right in front of Edwin, basically?
Correct. Yep.
Okay. I'm pretty sure a 10 is going to miss him. Yeah, 10 is going to miss. And then it's going to follow with Edwin. Got your witch bolt still connected to the gentleman with the red arm?
Yep. So should I cast? Should I? Well, I should cast it again. Should I just roll?
I
An
think your
additional.
action to continue it, you'll press it like you're casting it. Just make sure that it doesn't use a spell slot.
Okay. And for concentration spells like that, if I elect to continue it for my action, but then move in a way that would break that, that's fine, right?
To maintain concentration, you either choose to end a spell, and you can just end it when it's a concentration spell. With that one in particular, if you move over 30 feet away, it will end it. But like if you wanted to do something else, you don't have to concentrate on it to continue it. But if you cast another concentration spell, that will end it. So I'm not entirely sure what you're asking.
I'm
But
asking
there's a lot of
if I
stuff.
continue it for this turn, such that it deals damage, but then I say take my movement out the window or something that would break concentration for next turn. It'll still do damage this turn.
Yeah, if you
Correct?
used it right now and then moved, 100% you still get to use it. Yeah.
Okay.
That's part of why movement is effectively on all ends of your turn. You can start with movement, you can continue, and you can end with movement. I think you cast it at level 2. I think it's 2d10.
2d12. And then I am going to join everyone else in running out the window. And how high up are we?
All right, my bad. I missed one thing. One of those guards was going to attack at Kappa while he stepped out, but you guys are on the ground floor here. So this attack is technically a reaction against Kappa.
All right.
Miss. Yeah, that was my bad. I was creating the spiritual weapon for you. I don't have a ball of light, but it's a small little hammer that almost looks like a ball.
I like it.
One of these soldiers is going to charge across the room and slash out with his sword at Rin. 18 should hit you with a 20-something.
Can I cast shield?
What's your AC?
With my mage armor, it's 15.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit you regardless. He's gonna have a 21, so there's no reason to shield.
All right. So I'm stuck back here behind all of these people and behind that table. So what does that mean for my movement? I'll talk about like attack in a second, but what does that
He's
mean
gonna
for
hit you for 2, but it's difficult terrain to move through other people.
But I can jump over the table.
Effectively, it's a difficult terrain to climb up on top of it, but yes.
So can I dodge and move?
Your action can be to dodge, yes. And then the creature with the red arm is going to swipe out twice at Rin. First, no, it's not your turn yet, Rin. First attack is going to miss, and the second attack will hit with a 21, and he's going to do 15 slashing damage to you.
Dang.
And he is going to yell out to the other guards to take the redhead.
Oh no.
Another is going to move into the room, and he is going to hold his crossbow at the ready, aimed at the window at present. And then Flame. You've been bumped into by this person carrying their sword. A orc has come running out of that room. There is a human who's come out running in armor, and another one who has this electricity that's like drawn between themselves in the room. What is Flame doing?
Can you say that last part again? Sorry.
Oh, just like Edwin right now has like a line of electricity between himself and the room.
Oh, I look over and I'm like, I was gonna maybe shoot a couple flames, but I don't think the two of us should be too close together, or at least maybe have pointed direction. What say you?
Yes, you might want to go the opposite direction. You should probably not be seen with us.
I mean, no skin off my back. These people are creeps. So I'm happy to join. If
All
you'll
right,
have
fair,
me.
fair.
I'm
We
pretty
absolutely will. We can use all the help that we can get.
sweet. Okay. Um I can maybe like light a Molotov cocktail or something. Is there some alcohol around here?
You can create flames, can't you?
Yeah, I guess where the lightning's going, I'll just explode that.
If you're going to look for things that are accelerants, that's going to take your turn.
Okay.
If you want to set the house on fire, set it on fire.
Okay, I'll just set it on fire. What do I roll?
What are you doing?
Oh, breath. Okay, here it is.
You're just using like your actual breath weapon.
Yeah.
One of the weird things about magical fire in this game is not all of it creates fire when it hits other stuff. I don't think that's a thing that actually creates fire, per se. It injures people, but it doesn't necessarily create fire. They usually say something to the effect of, if it is an object that is being carried or worn, it doesn't catch fire. But if it's something that's just like around, it's on fire.
Okay, what do I just roll like a d20 for then just breathing fire?
Yeah, like you want to go up to the window and breathe fire into that room?
Nope. Oh, don't light that window on fire per se. We have friends that are still in there.
Okay, point and shoot, dude.
What are you casting, though? That's what I'm kind of getting at.
I'm just gonna breathe fire.
Yeah, I don't think your breath weapon is one of the things that will create fire when it hits other stuff. Like fire bolts, when they go array, they don't cause fire. Fireball, if you cast the fireball in that building, it's going to catch on fire. Like orb of fire or like sphere of fire, I can't remember the actual name. 100% anything that it touches will catch on fire. Burning hands catches things on fire. It's that last line before at a higher level. And I don't think breath weapons have that line.
Okay.
It's one of the things that makes a breath weapon somewhat safer to use. And that's one of the things where there are certain fire spells that are safer because that they don't include those lines. And I imagine that's a whole big reason why people created that magic versus another one. Do you have a magical spell that has that line?
I have flame blade.
Yeah, I would say if you're trying to light this place on fire, you can do a very mundane kind of lighting it on fire, but I don't think you have something that's going to create an out of control fire in an instant.
Okay. Can I just like take my flame blade to a curtain or something?
Yeah, you are more than welcome to basically light that window on fire.
Okay, not gonna light the window on fire. Um, if I can't light it on fire, I'm just gonna pass on my turn.
Rin, what would you like to do?
Well, I think I can light it on fire, but then I don't know what to do. We gotta keep the redhead, right? But like the party's outside, so I don't think that. Um,
Yeah, no,
That
right now you've kind of been abandoned by everyone. You've seen this person with the red arm cut down Sinmorn as well as Debbie in two pretty quick attacks. I think you just got hit by one of them that was pretty severely wounding.
yeah, I
You're
think.
probably thinking more about your own life than necessarily Arena at present.
Yeah, so I didn't move last turn over the table. I guess I moved at the wrong time, so I'm still here because I would like to be here.
When you tried to move last time, that was a reaction. You were being attacked on someone else's turn when you tried to move.
Oh,
Right now is when you are allowed to move.
all right. So I guess I'm out. Um, do I have? I'm sure I have limited range since I'm encumbered. Um,
You're encumbered right now?
or not encumbered, but like there's people in my path.
Gotcha. So, yeah, if moving through people is difficult terrain, it takes extra effort to do such. but you can certainly make like some effort to get away. When you are moving, are you going to dash? Are you going to dodge? Are you going to disengage?
Could I make it to the window if I levitated to the ceiling and crawled across the ceiling? Could I cover more ground that way?
It probably wouldn't hurt. You're gonna still take attacks, but
I don't feel like I have loads of options, so I guess I'm gonna levitate and get as close to out the window as I can. And that's my last level 2 spell slot.
yeah, so you like levitate up into the air, and then you're going to essentially push off of the wall to kind of propel yourself towards the window. And then you'll be above the window to where you pretty much have to um, either push yourself down and try to crawl out. Otherwise, you have to kind of cancel it to get to the window. But as you fly away, I think you're going to have. Yeah, I think both of them are going to attack you. The guard first. 14 to hit. No, 13 to hit. Your AC's 15 right now.
Uh-huh.
And then the red armed, he will miss with a 13. So let's see. Yeah, I'd say if you want to make it out of the window, you have to cancel, like drop your levitate, and then you can crawl through the window. Um, if you are going to try to crawl out with levitation on, you'll kind of like be inside of the window still.
No, we'll drop it and climb out the window.
Yeah, so you can take that square right above Debbie at that point. And then it's going to go to Ali.
All right. Let's see here. Well, you know what? I am going to just say fuck this guy and cast guiding bolt at this gentleman right here that's in front of this baroness.
Gotcha. He is going to fire his crossbow at you, and he will miss. Solid hit.
And then how do I do the 46? Do I just have to roll them on my own, or did they already do it?
It
Oh no, it
rolled.
looks like it
That's what
already
the 9
applied.
is.
Man, that's low.
Got 2 1s, a 2. Yep, pretty much as low as you can roll.
And then let's see here. So I got that guiding bolt off. Yeah, I'm just gonna start running towards the front door.
And then Hector, everyone from your party has left this room. You are currently surrounded by screaming commoners to your south. And then you've got 2 of these people immediately in front of you, one of which is the person with the red arm. What is Hector doing?
First, Hector feels extremely bailed on, and um, hmm, really sees the only option is to make a run.
Yeah, if you dash, you can make it out of there, but I think you're close to 30 feet to make it to the windowsill at this point.
I could have dashed across the table just as far.
But you couldn't have casted levitate.
Can Hector make it to the Baroness?
Yeah, let's at least get her, and maybe we can get. No.
30 would put you directly underneath the Baroness.
Since the Baroness.
It's really directly underneath the crossbowman.
Okay. Hector's going to get to the Baroness and, in her sleeping form, stab his two swords straight into her face and chest.
Make an attack.
Oh.
Lovely.
You are going to chink into a breastplate, and she is uninjured. Debbie, what are you doing?
I'm going to make my way to the front door as well.
Just doing normal movement. You can dash if you would like to.
Ooh, yeah, sure. How much more does that give me?
It's double, so you'll have another 30. As Debbie is running away, the lady, as she comes to, is going to pull a dagger and slash out at Hector. She will hit you, and she is going to do 8 piercing damage as she stabs into you. And she's... guess realistically, she's just standing first. Yeah, and I think she'll hold that kind of position. And you are going to hear as she whistles in a very high-pitched sound and calls for Brutus and Arcturus. And Koopa, what would you like to do?
So can I clarify? I can attack with this holy weapon or spiritual weapon, and then move it and repeat the attack.
It can move and then attack, but it only has one attack.
Gotcha. I'm gonna move towards the gentleman with the red arm and attack him with the spiritual weapon.
And he will move out of the way.
And I'm just gonna stay. I'm gonna move a little bit, not so close behind Ollie, but over here.
And that will take it to Edwin.
I would like to. Can I see the Baroness through the window, or is Ren blocking that?
There's enough that you could see her, sure.
All right, I'm gonna chuck a firebolt at her. And I'm guessing if Hector's 14 missed, that's also gonna miss.
Yep, she's got the wall and stuff, adding extra defense as well. So that will miss, and it's gonna go back to the
All right,
guard.
I still have my movement.
Go for it.
All right, I'm gonna move.
I will almost always skip past your movement, but you guys are welcome to do
Fair
that.
enough.
Combat takes too long to go through every single thing. Let's see. I think this is the first fighter is going to slash out at Hector. I believe a 14 misses Hector. Got you at 16.
16.
And then let's see. The next one is going to continue to take Arena. One more is going to charge forward, and he is going to put his weapon up to Hector and tell you, now's your time to surrender. Oh, I did that out of order. That's probably actually a poor choice, because you're going to get attacked by the red hand guy first. Yeah, 2 battle axes coming down on Hector. 20 should hit, and a 26 should hit. He's going to do...
Would it make sense to re-roll that last 19?
You've got to make those choices.
Never mind. Go ahead.
He's going to hit with, what is that, 19, 23, 29, 37 points of slashing damage into you, Hector.
Right, I guess I'm super dead.
How many hit points do you have before you get hit?
I mean, I was down to 20, so I'm super dead.
You're going to lose 2 death saving throws. That second hit is just going to be 2 death saving throws gone. And then I think that last guard's actually going to pull your body out of the room. Commoners continue screaming, and Flame, what are you doing? Are you there, Theo?
I'm sorry. Something came up on my Discord and I've been trying to mess with it. Can you repeat? Sorry.
What would Flame like to do? Got most of this party who you were kind of joining up with, who seem to be moving off to the east. There's still a bunch of commotion and screams coming from inside of that window that they've broken out through.
So the rest of the I'm gonna go up into the room and see if I can save anyone.
Like you're going up to the window?
Yeah, I need to see who's screaming.
Yeah, like if you went to the left side of Rin, you would be able to see that there's just kind of a pile of humans who are kind of like crunched down in the southeast side of that room. And 5 of them are screaming. 3 young women, a little boy, and a man.
Okay, I'm gonna spider climb up there and start to get people down.
Oh, it's like the first floor. This is like
Oh, it's just through
chest
the
high.
window. Okay, I'm just gonna start getting people out of there.
All right, so you're climbing into the window right now.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be 30 feet of movement to get in front of Rin. Oh, do you want to break that window out?
Yeah, to get them out.
Okay, gotcha. So yeah, you can break that window.
Just a D20.
No, there's no skill to breaking glass. There's no way that you can fail that.
Okay, cool.
So that will go to Rin. What would you like to do?
Well, I'd like to try and cast sleep, I guess, between the red arm guy and the other guard. First level.
Gotcha. Roll 5d8.
Well, that came out weird. Sorry. Do I need to redo that?
Roll 5d8. Yeah, I think even if you cast it in the actual corner, as far away from the commoners as possible, you can only put to sleep the Baroness and the guard who was kind of helping her up. But otherwise, where you cast it, it was going to hit more commoners again.
I was trying to hit the red arm guy mostly, but
Yeah, but he's got the most hit points out of anybody in that room. By almost every single person in that room.
all right. I thought maybe I could get him and we could get the Baroness out, but yeah.
Sleep is not that kind of spell.
Well, it keeps them from attacking us while we get her out, or stand
Yeah,
and
you
stab her.
guys still have not gotten him to half hit points, though. And you have your entire group who has been attacking him. He is a badass. So sleep goes off. The Baroness is going to pass back out. The soldier who's right there is going to pass back out. Do you want to move away? And it's going to go to Ollie.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna dash 60 feet.
And Hector, what would you like to do?
I mean, I'm super dead, so I don't expect myself to do anything else tonight. So
Oh, my bad. You are not fully dead right now. I think you have a death saving throw. I think you've lost 2.
as a paladin, which one am I supposed to be rolling?
It's just a death save. It's just a d20. So that's 1 success.
Am I supposed to be rolling multiple?
Nope.
No, it's just one per turn until you either die fully or stabilize.
Debbie, what would you like to do?
Guess I'll follow Ollie.
If you're going to go straight through that bush, you're going to take some difficult terrain there. You're not making it all the way there.
I couldn't see that that was a bush.
It
Can
looks like a
basically
tree.
make.
It looks like a tree because there's a shadow that's being cast by it.
Yeah, when you just run underneath it.
You can basically make it to one below or one behind. If it's a pine trees go to the ground anyways.
Okay.
And that's gonna go to the lady, the other of the dogs. And then Koopa. Are you guys about to start this right back up? You seem
I
like you're
don't know.
about to start this back up.
Maybe, maybe not.
I've killed 2 of your players. Sometimes it's time to run.
I'm gonna use my little white glowing ball here and try and smack it in the back of this gentleman's head.
Red arm,
Correct.
go for it. It's going to plink off of his armor.
All right, I'm gonna start moving to the east, following the party.
And then Edwin.
Um, yeah, I guess I'll follow the party as well. Dashing for total 60.
And it's going to go back around to Flame.
I'm just gonna ditch and follow the party.
And Rin.
Ditching and dashing.
And Ali.
I'm gonna light this door on fire and then continue to run.
Gotcha. What are you doing to use? What are you using to light it? Burning hands.
That's
Gotcha.
correct.
So you can hit like 3 different points.
So I'll definitely hit immediately like the front of the door. Yeah, just really this whole area in front of the door so that no one can really escape through the door. I will proceed to go away from the door. Yeah, so that would take me outside of the visible map.
Death saving throw from Hector. Roll a d20. And that's. You have inspiration dice. Do you want to live or do you want to create a new character?
I'm really not up for rolling a new character right now, especially tonight.
Gotcha. So you can use an inspiration to be successful there. That'll be 2 successes. The big question is like, do you want to play out a rescue mission or do you want to create a new character?
I'd probably rather do a rescue mission. I mean, like, I don't know. Would this be in the future or tonight?
Not tonight, no. You're going to create a new character regardless because you will play a different character for a rescue mission because Hector is going to be caught. But saving his life right now means that you can then choose to play either of those 2 characters. If you let Hector die with that right now, he's dead. He already sold his soul once. So realistically, you can kind of make that decision in this week here as well, to let you kind of prolong it. But I think at best we're going to give you all a skill challenge to see if you get away from this. But you guys just walked into one of the biggest cities in this entire campaign and went on a murder spree in the basically like governor's mansion. So it's going to be something special.
Technically, we didn't murder anybody.
You did a lot to try.
I did no such thing.
The peaceable thing to do would have been to basically just stop the moment the guards got called and try to explain yourselves, not to threaten them.
Well, you were telling us they're going to kill us, so we were pretty much encouraged to keep this going. So, whatever.
I really hope you don't think I was trying to encourage you to fight that out, but they were certainly calling for guards because magic was being cast around them. My NPCs have to act like actual characters in the game. And if she looks at herself as a queen, she looks at herself as a queen. So after Ali, it's going to go down to that roll from Hector. You can decide in the future. The dog is going to wake her up. Debbie, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna run.
Is everyone otherwise following suit with the running right now?
Can confirm for Cuppa.
So you all have a vague understanding of what this town is like. You are effectively running from kind of this southern portion. If you go to the east, you can follow the road down, but the road is where you're most likely to encounter more guards. You have the entire palisade to the south of you that is the closest kind of exiting point. If you all think it's maybe a little bit less likely that you all know about it, but it's entirely possible that we can put it behind like an intelligence check, that maybe somebody knows that there is an exit on that southern side and kind of southwest. But this is kind of like, we'll do just like an impromptu skill challenge here. What do you all want to do to try to get away in Vallaki here?
I would like to disguise myself and get involved somehow with the criminal underworld that's here in Vallaki to get myself out of this situation.
Like you're casting disguise self?
No, like just changing wardrobe and kind of changing the way that I look, and also trying to connect myself with
like right
somebody
now,
that's
you're right in
criminal.
front. Right now, you're right in front of the burning mansion, and you're going to start changing your clothes.
No, I would probably try to find somewhere that has clothing. Just kind
That's
of
what
like,
we need to get to first. Like, what is your first thought? Because you're still out front of a burning mansion where you can kind of assume guards are coming to.
Yeah, we have to stay off the roads and get out of here.
yeah.
Exactly. You guys have to get somewhere before you're going to be able to change your clothing.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a large city, right? Obviously, in a large city, like if it's New York or something like that, I'm just saying that there's enough foot traffic that we could probably blend in with the people. And I would go to somewhere that has clothes and change out my clothes.
The problem with Barovia is that all of these people grow up and they are around these people all the time. This is not a big city like New York where you can just blend in. These are people that they always recognize you all as far travelers because you're always the new people. You have options that you want to get away and you can try to blend in clothing wise. But my point is to kind of stress right now, you need to escape. And it's not just by like blending in with the people, because you might find very quickly people are going to call you out. But you can certainly try. Roll a deception check for me, Rodney. Koopa,
Wait,
what are you doing?
could you say that again? I didn't hear what kind of check you wanted.
Deception.
I'm going to try and encourage the party, saying we need to kind of stick to the shadows and not be seen on the roads. And I think we should head to the east and continue heading to where we were originally, I'm sorry, the west, where we were originally heading to. Ask the party what they think.
Do we care that we lost Irina?
Yes, but tonight I need my life more than I need her.
Should we like run into the forest and hide for the night and then devise a plan to get her back? Or maybe take over a house and hide?
My only concern is with going out into the forest. We know that there's going to be like undead creatures and wolves and those kind of things.
Last time I heard we went into somewhat, the party went into a house and there were some zombies or something of the sort, and they killed my brother Raymond.
Yes, that was the pants mission.
But yes, I think the forest. I'd rather take on wolves and the undead in the open than in the city.
Well, regardless, we're going to need some rest. So, um, yeah, definitely need to find somewhere just to rest for the night.
Maybe just the edge of the forest. I don't know.
Just at the beginning of the forest there.
Can we escape unseen over the fence?
Roll a stealth check for me, Rin. Ali, as you start to approach to the east, there's already people who are gawking at the fire, and they seem to be kind of like noticing your whole party who's coming out of it, and there's already like kind of gossips and whisper. Anyone else have any ideas on how to escape right now?
I'm gonna use pass without trace.
Gotcha. So you can cast Pass without without a trace. Try to gather everybody up close to you. Make another stealth check.
Whale sheet.
Oh, that's a good spell.
So as you all start to move off towards the south and try to like make your way towards the actual gates, it's going to be pretty quick before you see some guards along the actual gates are pointing towards your group. When Flame kind of gathers you up, the group can maybe with a little bit of leeway kind of disappear behind some trees. What else do you all have in mind for trying to escape?
Can we maybe look into some of the windows and see if there is a house that we could take over without it being like it was last time?
Like without zombies attacking you?
Well, like maybe an empty house, ideally. An empty house that no one sees us go into.
You can roll a perception, Rin. As you find a house and start to like look around in it, the first thing you're going to see is just a little child who kind of like catches your eye after a moment, and they run over to the window and start kind of banging on the glass to like get your attention back.
Oh, next house. Wherever there's a baby, there's a mama.
Anyone else have any thoughts on how to get out of this place right now?
Are there any like sewers in this town?
You could do a perception check.
Sorry, just a sec. My D&D Beyond's messing up.
Can you hear right now, Edwin?
Yep.
So as you are kind of like glancing around for any signs of like any sort of like undercroft or sewage system here, you do spot like an actual person who is kind of like throwing a waste bucket out of the back of their house, recognizing that it's likely a chamber pot. There is like a little bit of kind of like a downtrodden moment before this person kind of like makes eye contact with you, and then they look over towards the burning mansion, back to you, and they're gonna wave you forward.
All right, gang. We move towards them.
Yeah, why not?
Do it. Let's do it.
So as you all kind of like huddle together, staying close to Flame, and make your way towards this house, this person is going to basically keep their kind of back door open. Um, Edwin would probably be the first to hear, as they kind of yell off into their house to like staunch the lights, and kind of like the lighting of the house goes out, so the door is no longer casting light beyond this person at the back door, and they kind of usher you all in with a final look to the flames. They're going to turn back to you, and as everyone's inside and the door behind you shut, you're just in kind of like a small little farmhouse. There's a family of 5 people inside of here. There's 3 adults and 2 children, and this person who's at the back door will kind of look to you all and, trouble with the burgomaster?
I'm gonna kind of just glare at the party, wondering if we should admit to it or not. But can I try and perceive if she's being genuine or not? Like she's willing to help.
Can do an insight check. They've invited you into their house. They looked at the flames. They saw you all running.
Are you fan of the Burgomaster, or you just hoping to get something out of us? For the record, I'm amenable to either.
And do you have something that is worthy that you could pay for your safety?
Oh, I think we forgot to thank you so much for letting us come in and take cover.
There's no need for niceties. You've already wondered, and now I'm asking. Do you have something that is worthwhile to pay for your safety?
I have a really nice dress.
And that is a fantastic start. Make a persuasion check for me. And looking back, I feel like it was Koopa asked how they felt about the Burgomaster. Was that right?
That was that one.
I swear, like, if I'm not looking at it, I definitely confuse your voices on a regular basis. So looking back to Edwin, they're just going to kind of with a little bit of a bow. The Burgomaster has wronged many people in our town. And kind of like looking over this group, you're going to notice that there's like an old man is one of the adults, and then two essentially female sisters who kind of like look a little bit similar. And after a moment, they're going to kind of like in almost in unison kind of say, "The burgomaster has robbed us both of our husbands. There's very little to be loved of one who would sacrifice so much for campaigns to make all well." So, did you have trouble with the burgomaster?
Not the burgomaster per se, but his wife. Well, it just happened to get into a quarrel with her, and well, let's say it just did not end well.
Ah, that's a shame. That's a shame. Is she dead?
No, unfortunately not. She had some red-handed demon men come out and attack us, which is why we had to flee.
Ah, yes, Isaac. He's something special.
The human, the red arm was kind of peculiar.
Human-ish. He's the captain of the guards.
Explains why he was so strong.
And the other sister is gonna kind of like speak up and just for a moment, you say Lydia was a problem? The Baroness?
Yes, we actually didn't even get the chance to meet the Burgermeister himself. He wasn't even present, it seemed, or just wasn't, or not worthy of his time.
They kind of like look to each other with kind of like a nod of acknowledgement and almost in unison there. And she's normally the amenable one. She's the sister of Father Petrovich of St. Andrew's. Not much for hostilities, but she's been under his arm for many years. Perhaps his insanity is hers now.
This father that you speak of, Father Petrovich, is he the father of this town, Vallaki?
The Father Petrovich, he's the priest of St. Andrew's, the cathedral, towards the west end of town.
And how does he feel about the Burgermeister? Are they very close?
To his face, just kind of presented as like a little bit of like a question, like, do you want like the real answer, or do you want the answer that like how people act in front of him?
Both.
Well, I think you'll be hard pressed to find anyone who actually cares for the burgomaster. But to his face, if you intend to live, you will follow his. And they kind of look to each other. Insanity.
And if the Burgermeister was to die along with the Baroness, how do you feel the town would feel about that?
As I thought. You should meet Madame Wachter. And they both have big smiles on their face.
Can you arrange a meeting?
Most certainly, that will be no problem at all.
Excellent. Well, until then, looking around at the party, me and my friends here probably should lay low for quite a while until we can a meeting can be arranged, and we don't want to catch too much of the ire of the Burgermeister knowing that we're still here in Vallaki.
Perhaps not the worst of plans. And she's just going to look over to one of her children. Let me actually look at the list as my brain goes blank thinking of an NPC name. She's just going to say, Berdan, run off to the Wachters and let the lady know the bonfire is going to be at our house for the next few days. And the little child is going to run for the door and head out of the house. And then as the kid steps out, door shuts behind them. One of these sisters is going to head inside to like where the hearth is and taking a large pot off of it, offer you all effectively what is kind of like a rice meal. It's almost more water than it is rice at this point. It offers a little bit of substance. It has a little bit of smell to it, as if perhaps there's some meat or tallow inside. But they will offer you all a meal and um, probably something like a very watered down beer, where it's more like having the alcohol in the water to keep it safe to drink than it is necessarily like an alcoholic product.
I'm quite excited for a little bit of hospitality. I'm going to take it.
So, if you all don't have any more questions for the sisters at present, you can enjoy a long rest. They basically have this like vaguely one room house, and it's more or less just find a spot where you can find a little bit of rest for yourself. Do you all have any thoughts about um, keeping like watches between yourselves, or is everybody going to kind of just comfortably pass out?
Yeah, I think two of us should be awake at all times. So we'll just take shift.
Agreed.
Uh, Being pretty bloodied myself, I think I'll take the last shift.
Yeah,
I'll take
I'm
first
technically
shift.
dead, so same.
Yeah, I don't have a scratch on me, so I'll take first shift.
I think I have 6 hit points left, but I'll take first shift.
I was going to suggest William and I get acquainted,
Okay.
since I know that they weren't injured in the fighting.
Are you actually interested in role playing a conversation with Flame, or?
I mean, we're almost at 3 hours, so I don't know if people want to hear that, but
Gotcha. So overall, you all are going to have a pretty seamless night here. So you can basically take your watches, but regardless, you all can take your long rests here. Nothing seems to happen while you're in this house.
So, do we know if they're taking Irina to the burgomaster or someone else?
Oh, you guys have no clue what's going on with Arena. Let's see. Who
Can we
was
ask?
still in the room? I think Rin would be one of the people who roll an insight check for me, Rin. Does anybody else remember who was in the room when the red armed man said, "Take the redhead"? Was it still Koopa and Edwin inside of the room?
I think so. Yeah, Ali had just jumped out. I believe Sinmorn was knocked out. Hector.
And then Hector got killed or got taken effectively. So
Well,
let me get an insight from Edwin and Koopa as well. Rin, while Arena was passed out and unconscious, the red armed man also had the person he was called to protect passed out and unconscious. And he ordered his guards to take the redhead. There's something about that that makes you wonder what his cause was. It's probably not as simple as he was guarding the Baroness. There's probably something much more complicated than a soldier guarding his I feel like steward is the wrong word, but he was basically doing something perhaps against what he was supposed to be doing when he gave that order to the guards. What it was entirely, I don't think there's any way that you can read it from someone in that moment other than you rolled high enough to kind of pick up that, like, yes, something big is happening. Perhaps, from what you've heard from the others, he's in league with Strahd, but you really don't know.
That would seem strange given his employer's allusions to not having to worry about Strahd anymore.
And that should be among your biggest takeaways about how everything boiled down today is what happened between that soldier and when he noticed that Arena was passed out inside of that room, because it changed everything.
So it would be cool probably if we could get Arena back sooner rather than later because they did. Were we able to see that did they go upstairs?
She just kind of
Effectively,
disappeared off
you
the
all,
map.
yeah, effectively, when they leave that room, you guys wouldn't have actually seen anything else about what was happening.
All right. I guess when we pick back up, maybe we stealthily check the burgomaster's house.
I mean, it seems also that there's enough people around town that don't like the burgomaster that maybe in this meeting that we have, we could maybe find out more information from. Seems like there might be like an underground of people who dislike the burgomaster. Might be able to learn information from them.
Yeah, can we ask the lady, the forthcoming lady that we talked to earlier? Tell her that we lost a member of our party, and we're interested in any information about where they're keeping Irina.
That's a great idea. And see if they might be able to have people find out information.
I would say you can definitely keep that in mind for where things will go next session. I think we're probably going to jump ahead a day to where you all will pick up next week, effectively on, what is it? I feel like it's like Tezjadak the 9th right now, Tezjadak the 3rd. So I think we're going to pick up on the 5th, as you basically sleep that night into the 4th. And the entire day of the 4th, they're going to slowly kind of smuggle you between houses, and eventually take you all up towards like kind of the northern section of town. Um, And on some level, as far as like it's going to be kind of railroady, they're going to separate you all as they do this to make it happen. So regardless of how suspicious you all kind of like make that feel, I feel like it's going to kind of happen regardless, because we will pick up with you all inside of Madame Wachter's house on the night of the 5th. And I think that's where those questions will kind of come in, because effectively anybody who you're talking about here, these are like pitchfork carrying angry commoners. When you arrive at Madame Wachter's, we'll kind of pick up where you actually start to pick up a little bit more information. Um, and among some of the first and most foremost things is that the family Wachter were the oldest family in this town and among the nobles who held the burgomeister position for the longest. So you have like a sense of you're already inside of a civil war. But that's where we're going to pick up. Like that's going to be one of the first things as you meet Madame Wachter and you all are reunited inside of her home.
Interesting. So typically when this game plays out, is it that that little scene around the table goes a little bit less murdery? And so is this a